I'm very pleased now to introduce a newcomer at One Championship, one of the greatest jiu-jitsu players of all time. Andre Galvao will finally make his One debut at 1X against Reinier de Ridder. Hello, sir. Welcome to One. It's awesome to have you here. And what a cool opponent, the double champion, Reinier de Ridder. How did this fight come about? Because it's like only a couple of weeks ago we heard about it and it moved really quickly. It's kind of a nice surprise for the fans.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me here. I would like to say hello to all my fans right there all over the world. It's a great pleasure for me to represent One Championship nowadays. Super excited. RDR, right? They call him like RDR. He's a great grappler, you know, in MMA, undefeated. I remember we negotiated this fight like a couple months ago. And then we just like wait until his title defense. He defended the title in, I believe, like February 24th or 25th. And then after the fight, like he was okay. He had no injuries, nothing like that. And then we decided to do the 1X. So I'm super excited. And he accepted the challenge. He's a great warrior. I watch a lot of his fights. And man, it's gonna be a tough match.
He seems to have massive respect for you and your achievements, but he's a confident guy. You know, he says he's going to take your neck. So how do you respond to that?
Yeah, so you gotta be confident, right? So he's the double champ. He made it happen. But I'm used to fight like champions, you know. I never got an easy fight. And when they told me like to fight against RDR, I was just like, all right, so he's tough, but let's go. You know, I'm ready.
We have a text question coming in from Luisa Morales of Philippine Star, who says, RDR has been talking a lot that no one can best his grappling in MMA. Do you think you can be the man to shut him up in the circle?
You know, definitely like I have a lot of experience in jiu-jitsu, more than him. He has more experience than in MMA than me. The fight is gonna be on I would say like on his area, you know, which is like the octagon, right? Not the octagon, but the cage,
Circle.
right? Yeah, it's a circle, right? It's gonna be in the circle, and yeah, so he can use that on his favor, but I believe like my experience, all my years in jiu-jitsu, my techniques can overcome and for sure like stop him out.
Our next question comes from Khan of Daily News, who asks, this is your first ever match in One. Will we see you in another grappling bout, or are you going to make your return to MMA?
Yeah, so I'm just like going there in Singapore. It's my first time in Singapore. I want to feel the the area. I want to feel like the event. I want to know like everyone. I'll meeting Shatri like for the first time personally. You know, it's gonna be amazing. I wanna know all the staff and everyone. So definitely like the next step is for sure like going and fighting MMA as well.
I got to follow up on that one. Who intrigues you in the MMA world in One? There's some interesting matchups out there.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. So I'm definitely like training right now. I'm focused a lot on grappling right now, but I'm training MMA like around like 2-3 times a week right now, and definitely like I feel like better and better. My last fight was in 2010, so there's a huge gap right there. But I'm ready. You know, I feel confident. I have more experience. I believe my grappling nowadays is it's way better than my grappling like 10 years ago. So definitely I improve a lot. So I feel great.
Our next question will come from Andrew Mack of MMA Ireland. Go ahead, Andrew.
Hello, Andre.
What's up, man?
So how many grappling matches would you like to do before you get back into the circle with MMA? Or would it just be one match, then go into MMA?
Yeah, so it's gonna be a grappling match. This is 100% grappling. and maybe one day we can fight MMA as well. You know, he's the double champ, and I know like I'm just getting the event. I have a long way to get there, but um, like I said, like my goal is to go out there, finish the fight, get the submission, and after that we're gonna, you guys will see like what is the next for Andre Galvao and the One Championship, and definitely like I wanna fight MMA as well.
And in a perfect world, how do you see this fight ending?
I see him like doing this, tap him out. Definitely like you know, like he's tough. You know, I watch his footage, and uh, it's hard to find grappling fights, you know, of him. There's like fights of him like in on YouTube, like from 5, 6, 7 years ago. And I feel like in 5, 6 years you can improve so much, you can improve a lot. And I feel like he's a guy that controls all his opponents in grappling, you know. It pretty much like most like when he take people down, he dominate them. He likes to take the back and all that. But I'm used to fight like bigger opponents because I'm like 5'8" and he's like 6'4". Like he's way taller than me. But we have like the same weight. So it's gonna be interesting. But I see myself like always attack him and make him really uncomfortable the whole time.
All right, thank you. Can't wait to see you fight.
All right, thank you so much.
Next up, it's Tom Taylor from SCMP MMA.
What's up, Andre? How you doing, man?
Good, man. Good. How are you?
Very well, thank you. You mentioned that you've watched quite a bit of tape on RDR. You've watched his MMA fights and sniffed out some of his old grappling matches too. Is there anything you've seen from this guy that you see like that you might be able to expose on the night? Anything you've noticed that he does? Any bad habits?
Oh yeah, so definitely like I feel that he I don't think like he's gonna be on bottom, you know, like he's the type of guy that will probably like he'll fight, you know, to stay on top the whole time. I think that's his strategy. If you're not, like maybe he can change the game, he can change the strategy. Like when I go to a fight, I don't like to like kind of like think about just one strategy. You know, I gotta be there and feel comfortable in every single area, standing up or playing guard or top. Like I gotta be ready. So, but I noticed that he exposed it back a lot, so I go for that. You know, and if not, I'll find different ways like to get the submission and close the space because he has like very long limbs, you know. He likes to work with the arm triangles, darts, and all that because the long limbs and a lot of body locks. And he has a little bit of judo as well, so a good stand up. So it's gonna be very interesting, but I will overcome this challenge. I'm confident. I'm well trained, and I want to get the sub for sure.
Very well said. He has said he thinks that the fact that this fight is happening in a cage might be an advantage to him, just because of his experience in the cage, and I guess that helps him set up takedowns maybe too. Is that something you've considered? Do you see the cage being an advantageous thing for him?
He can be an advance for sure because he's like doing that longer right now than me. You know, he has more MMA fights than me, and then like I said, my last fight was 10 years ago. But only if the fight get really close to the cage, and you know. But I feel that I have like experience right there too. I train a lot with a lot of MMA fighters as well, so I don't think it's gonna be like that much advantage for him. I'll have no problem if the fight come close to the cage. I know what I'm gonna do if the fight get there.
Awesome. And one more for me while I have you. You've made it very clear that you do intend to get back into MMA at some point. Obviously, this RDR fight is a submission grappling match, but do you see, a submission win over a 2-division MMA champion as a kind of valuable moment as you're heading back into MMA? Is that a valuable thing for you?
Oh yes, definitely, definitely. He's a black belt. He's not like just an MMA fighter that's a purple belt, that's a blue belt. You know, those guys that train just a little bit of jiu-jitsu. No, his background, he's jiu-jitsu. He competes jiu-jitsu, so he knows jiu-jitsu. So, and also he's a double champ, and he's undefeated, right? So he has all the qualities right there, and that means that he has heart. He works really hard. He has discipline, and I'm not taking this fight as a easy fight, you know. And also, like I say, like I never like lately, you know, like in my career, I never fought like easy fights. You know, I always get like the tough guy. So he's the toughest guy in at the one championship, and he knows jiu-jitsu. So definitely like this fight is gonna show people like who's Andre Galvao, you know, at the one championship. And also it's a great test for him as well. So he wants to test his grappling against against me, you know. So it's definitely like something that people will be like, man, I want to see Andre Galvao fight MMA right now. So it's gonna be great. It's a great introduction for sure.
Awesome, Andre. Thank you so much for the time. Can't wait to watch you do your thing in one championship.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Tom. Onward now to Eric Ubelaka of Full Mount MMA.
Thanks, Andre. Renee said he has a lot of respect for you, obviously. I was wondering how much respect do you have for him and what he's accomplished in the sport?
Oh man, like I watch his a little bit of his footage and all his history and all that. I have a lot of respect for him as well, for sure. Definitely is not easy, like to be a double champ at one. Is a tough guy. So I'm very happy to be in front of him, and also like I accept the challenge. Right, he challenged me first, and you know it's you gotta pay respect for this guy, definitely. So I have a lot of respect for him, 100%. So, but out there, we're gonna go hard 100% as well. So it's gonna be great.
Of course. And I was wondering, you touched on it there. What was your initial reaction? Were you surprised when he called you out the way he did after his last win?
Yeah, I was just like, man, this guy, man, let me fix this problem, you know. So he just like, hey, Andre Galvao, I'll choke you out, you know, and I was like, whoa, uh, he did it. So he wants the fight really bad. So and we're negotiating, and that's when I knew that okay, fight is on, because we're like negotiating like for a couple months, you know, a month and a half, and we just deciding like in how he fight would go, and seems like he did really well, right, in the fight. So he controlled the fight, had no problem, and then after that he felt confident and he called me out. So it was great. It was great. So I'm happy to be at the one championship, 1X, right, on March 26th, fighting against RDR, which is a double champ, and it's gonna be amazing.
That's awesome. And the last one for me here, you said, you kind of kept up with one a little bit before this when you were talking to him. I was wondering what it means for you to be making your debut on one of the biggest cards of the year, just an incredible card, all top to bottom. What does it mean for you to be a part of this event?
Man, I feel honored. You know, I feel really honored by the event. And it seems like he's going to be around like 100 million views, you know, all over the world. And definitely like I feel very honored, and I want to do this really well. Yeah, I want to do like a well done job right there, showing my work to the world. And there's like one part of the world that probably like doesn't know much about Andre Galvao, and I think right now it's a great moment. So like I said, I feel very honored, and I would like to thank all you guys from one championship. Thank you so much, and definitely like it's a blessing, right? So I feel really blessed. You know, I have nothing to complain. Everything that happened in my career until now, it's always amazing. I believe because I work hard and I have a lot of dedication, discipline, and that's why things works in my favor. So I think it's gonna be super amazing. I'm super excited, you know, and again, super honored.
Perfect. Thank you, Andre.
No problem. And thank you so much.
It was interesting to see you sign with one championship at a similar time as your friend Gordon Ryan. You guys are competing at ADCC. The fans seem to love that fight. First of all, what made you take this fight and risk being injured for that Gordon Ryan fight? I think maybe it says a lot about you.
Like they say, okay, you can get injured or not. You can get injured training as well. We train every day, and actually, like sometimes the training is way harder than the fight, right? And I don't think like you should think like that, right? I side with the one championship because my manager George Guimaraes, he was talking with me like for a few years, like, oh, you should come back to MMA, you should come back. And I told him like, oh, if I get back, I want to get back like in Asia, I want to go fight at one championship. I think it's a great event. I like that style. I like that event. And he's like, yes, let's talk with them. And then we just talk like back and forth. I was like programming my coming back. And then it happens at that time, it happens during that time. And then happens like in the time that I am the ADCC super fight champion, and then Gordon like wants his absolute division. It's a fight that everybody wants to see. Definitely like it's gonna be a crazy fight, right? It's gonna be amazing. Like all the fans would like to see this fight and wants to see this fight really bad. And I'm there, like my goal right now is just to think about the present. I want to like fight RDR first, do my best right there. And, like I said, injured, you can get injured like anytime, so, and that doesn't mean like I need to keep myself like locked on my house to not get injured, and just waiting for ADCC. No, I gotta go work. And my last fight was in 2019. So I want to feel the field again. I want to feel the environment. I want to feel like the fans, I want to feel like fighting against someone like that's really good in jiu-jitsu. So I want to just have that environment within. So it's helping like to prepare for the biggest challenge as well.
Like I said, the fans seem to be really fascinated with that rivalry with Gordon Ryan. And if it is an amazing fight, like everybody thinks it's going to be, what possibility do we have to see the rematch in one inside the circle and maybe even in MMA in the future?
Yeah. We just got to negotiate, everything's negotiable. I'm open and we're talking with the event. So the fans would like to see this fight, and that can happen, that can happen. It depends on one championship, and we are here to do our best. So I'm ready to represent Atos, represent my students, represent my family, and that's what I do for a living. And I retire, and when I retire, I felt like, as I start coaching, I start helping my students. That's what I'm doing right now. But I feel like that I still have like some gas on my tank. I still feel like, even though I'm 39 years old nowadays, but I feel like I'm doing well. I'm doing really well. So I'm ready to fight anyone.
Lots of exciting matchups on the horizon. All right, let's go across then to Dylan Bowker now from Sportskeeda. Dylan, your mic is open.
Hey there, Andre. I appreciate you making some time.
Oh, thank you, man. A pleasure.
I'm just curious because obviously you're very, highly prolific in the submission grappling space, but seems like your daughter, Sarah, has been able to kind of go on her own journey. There are a couple medals from what I saw recently. Like, what does, that all make you feel there?
Oh man, like I feel really proud of her. She's definitely like, no joke. I can't wait to see her like fighting at the one championship one day as well. I know she's very young, but man, she's just super talent, and she has a lot of discipline. She does everything right. I don't need to keep telling her to do things. She does what she's doing right now because she loves jiu-jitsu. And once you like what you do, nobody can stop you, So I feel like super proud of my daughter. She's doing amazing, and I think she has a bright future, definitely in the sport, and she'll become one of the best for sure. Like she learns really quick. She's getting better every day, and it's just the beginning, right? It's just the beginning. Of course, she needs to build her experience and all that, but she really likes what she's doing. She really likes jiu-jitsu, loves jiu-jitsu. So, like I said, I believe like her future is super bright, and daddy here is super proud, and mom as well. So it's amazing.
Yeah, and you mentioned her competing under the one banner one day. Is that something you'd like to do one day? Like maybe share a card with her? Like, would that be a hugely important thing for you? I mean, I would think it would be.
Man, that'll be crazy. Imagine that. And as I was thinking about that, I'm like, man, and I thought that wouldn't happen, but like I said, I still feel like really, I would say like young, I feel young. I don't feel like old. And I feel like she's getting there, and she's gonna turn 16 this year. She's super young, but she's already giving a little bit of challenge to all the girls like at the gym, and I can't wait to see her like fighting grappling as well. I think the best way for her to kind of like start fighting against black belt is through grappling, and then we are working on that right now. But right now she's focused more on the gi. But definitely like that's something that can happen, and it's gonna be nuts. And if it's at the one championship, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And then just lastly for me here, because the MMA experience has been mentioned before, like fighting in Strike Force and whatnot. I'm curious, like, what your thoughts are on the global rule set that one championship utilizes with like knees to grounded opponents, etc.
Yeah, it's a type of rule that I fought before. I used to fought Dream,
Yep.
uh, Pride, right? So it's kind of like the same rule. Like you can knee while your opponent is on the ground. Like, yeah, it's something that I'm used to that, and also elbows, and it's crazy. It's definitely like a very exciting way to watch a MMA fight. It's pretty much like there's like rules, but you can do more, even like in a way of striking when you are on the ground, and I see a lot of times like people getting the north south and they start throwing the knees from up and down, through the head of the opponent. It's super exciting. It's amazing. And definitely I'm ready for that. It's something that I already fought before.
Yeah, for sure. I kind of figured it would be a interesting, transfer to it since then because of the previous experience. But thanks so much for the insights, man.
My pleasure, man. Thank you.
Thanks, Dylan. Okay, to wrap up, Andre, do you have a final message for the fans?
Yes, I just would like to thank everyone for the support, all the messages. I received a lot of messages when people knew that I'll get there. So I can't wait to be in Singapore for the first time. I want to know all you guys. I'll be training somewhere right there, and I can't wait to be there sharing the environment with you guys, right? So it's going to be amazing. And for you that's going to be watching the fight from your home, be ready, be excited, because it's going to be a great match. So, and I would like to also thank Chatri from One Championship, all the staff for the support and all the professionalism as well. So thank you so much.
Awesome. Andre, thank you. And welcome to the organization. We're excited for this one.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. From one Brazilian star to another. Next up, we're going to be speaking to the champion, Adriana Moraes.